On the 1st of April, Israel, which is engaged in an ongoing shadow war with Iran, launched its latest attack on Iran. Israel used airstrikes to destroy part of the Iranian embassy in Damascus, Syria, killing at least 12 people. Among those dead was Mohammad Reza Zahidi, who led Iran's military operations in Syria and Lebanon.
כבר שנים שאיראן פועלת נגדנו, גם באופן ישיר וגם באמצעות השליחים שלה. ולכן ישראל פועלת נגד איראן והשליחים שלה, גם בהגנה וגם בהתקפה. אנחנו נדע להגן על עצמנו, ואנחנו נפעל לפי העיקרון הפשוט, שמי שפוגע בנו או מתכנן לפגוע בנו, אנחנו נפגע בו.
Israel's attack on the embassy showed off its military power to both Iran and the United States. It also seemed like Israel wanted to provoke the United States into getting involved. Attacking an embassy breaks the rules of the Vienna Convention, which says embassies are a part of a country's land. So by attacking the Iranian embassy in Syria, Israel violated Iran's sovereignty. This is different from the past attacks by Israel, like assassinating important Iranian leaders or hitting buildings. Iran will definitely respond, but when and how, that's for Netanyahu to panic and stress about, and that's exactly what is happening.
We are always concerned about anything that would be escalatory or cause an increase in conflict in the region.
Israel wants to escalate the war and involve the United States because Israel is tired of all the negative publicity it's getting from the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. Since October last year, there's been a new round of conflict between Palestinians and Israelis. Iran has said it supports the Palestinian armed struggle, while Israel has criticized Iran for backing the Hamas military wing. Israel believes Iran's support for Hamas has made it harder for the Israelis to achieve their goals quickly in the Gaza Strip. The international community's pressure on Israel has reached its peak, mainly because the Israeli army has repeatedly violated humanitarian regulations by purposely targeting civilians and humanitarian aid workers in Gaza.
The forces
you
on the
don't
ground
use night vision
identified
technology.
So the night vision identified the vehicles, but it wasn't able to read out the sticker on the roof, couldn't even identify.
So Israel is currently facing a very embarrassing situation. While the Palestinian forces continue to resist, Israel has not fully achieved its combat objectives. And the United Nations and the international community are exerting pressure for an immediate ceasefire and cessation of hostilities. A UN resolution has been passed recently calling for an immediate ceasefire, which hasn't been vetoed by the United States. And this shows a slight change in attitude of the United States, which has made things difficult for Israel. If Israel complies with the UN resolution, it means that Israel is showing weakness to the outside world, and at the same time, it won't be able to achieve its war goals, and the Netanyahu regime will inevitably be counterattacked. And it's likely that this will eventually lead to Netanyahu stepping down. So whether it's for the sake of achieving military strategic goals or maintaining his own political career, the Netanyahu regime will not easily compromise. I'll tell you why later. The thing is, for Netanyahu it's a catch-22 situation, because if he doesn't comply with the Security Council resolution, Israel will be the target of public criticism. And since the United States is no longer openly supporting Israel, it means that Israel will face international pressure and further conflict with Arab and the Muslim world. And it's because of this, Israel wants to continue to gain the support of the United States, even force the United States to take sides, because the biggest enemy of the United States in the Middle East is Iran. And if Iran retaliates militarily against Israel, then the United States will have no choice but to end up in the conflict in order to maintain its strategy in West Asia and protect its baby Israel.
برگردیم به موضوع ایران. قطعا امروز، حالا امروز یا فردا یا یک اسبوع، 10 روز، چند روز، یک ماه یا کمتر یا بیشتر نمیدونیم، چون که برادران ایرانی به سرعت عمل نمی کنند. آنها تفکر می کنند، بررسی می کنند، همه عواقب رو در نظر می گیرند، همه جوانب رو. در مسئله وقت حالا کسی که عجله داره میگن که به تأخیر افتاد. حالا صحبت میکنیم در این خصوص. موضوع بخش کنسولگری ایران نقطه عطفی در حوادثی است که 7 اکتبر تا به امروز اتفاق افتاده است. وقتی که ما گوش میدیم به سخنان رهبری بزرگوار که ما در این 20 سال هم عادت کردیم به سخنان یا مسئولان ایرانی، به وضوح میبینیم که نیاز نداره که حالا سید بگه یا بقیه بگن که اطلاعاتی دارن یا ندارن. کافی است که گوش کنیم به بیانیه و سخنان رهبری معظم که
The outside world is worried whether Netanyahu's reckless actions and Iran's future retaliation will trigger a new war in West Asia. In my opinion, I don't think so. It's highly unlikely. Going by Iran's actions in Palestine so far, it doesn't want to get directly involved in the war, so Iran will make a strong counterattack and intensify the resistance in Palestine as well as Lebanon. It will play tactically and respond proportionately, which is unlikely to trigger a war on a regional scale. Iran knows Israel is playing with fire. As Sheikh Imran Hussein said, Israel wants to take the world towards nuclear war. With the ongoing assault on Gaza and the genocide of the Palestinian civilians on an unimaginable scale, Israel wants to put the entire region and the world on fire. The risk is that at some point Israel will pay a very high price for its attacks than expected. The powers from the shadows have Netanyahu on a very tight and a very short leash. Either he stays as Prime Minister and brings Armageddon through nuclear war, or he steps down and goes to jail. He's been given the choice already. Expect further turmoil ahead. Assalamu alaikum. Try and have a good night. Over and out.